Hello friends, in this video we are going to discover the top 10 richest countries in Africa. Africa is the world's second largest and second most populous continent after Asia in both categories. It covers 6% of Earth's total surface area and 20% of its land area. It has abundant natural resources but unfortunately remains the world's poorest and most underdeveloped continent. Africa is one of the most diverse continents on Earth. Based on per capita rankings, this video will show you the richest countries in Africa. As you all know, Africa is home to some of the wealthiest countries in the world. The continent is rich with natural resources and has a vast population, leading to high GDP per capita. However, despite this wealth, many countries are still mired in poverty. But first, let's look at the list of the top 10 richest African countries based on GDP per capita. The GDP/capita is measured using the International Monetary Fund, IMF, data. This info should give you a good idea of these countries' relative economic stability and wealth. Kindly make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon before we start this video about the 10 richest countries in Africa. Now let's dig deeper into each of the top 10 richest countries in Africa. Number 10 on the list of richest countries in Africa is Namibia. The Namibian economy mainly relies on mining, agriculture, manufacturing, and tourism, which account for more than half of its GDP. Mining accounts for about 30% of GDP while agriculture contributes around 12%. Namibian agriculture mainly produces beef, lamb and mutton, dairy products, tobacco, and barley. Namibia GDP per capita is US $9,730. The Namibian economy is stable, with a steady growth rate above 4%, contributing to its high GDP per capita. Number 9 on the list of richest countries in Africa is Tunisia. Despite having a relatively small population of about 12 million people, Tunisia also significantly influences African affairs. It has one of the highest currencies in Africa. Tunisian exports mainly include clothing and textiles, chemicals, semi-finished goods, electrical equipment, and transportation equipment. Tunisia's land resources are limited because of the aridity of the Sahara Desert. However, Tunisia has human resource potential, making it attractive to foreign investors such as Germany and Italy. Tunisia's economy mainly relies on tourism, manufacturing, and mining, which account for about 15% of the GDP. Tunisia GDP per capita is US $10,590. Tunisia's economy has been doing well because its economic policies have effectively created a stable financial environment encouraging foreign investments. Number 8 on the list of richest countries in Africa is Algeria. Algeria significantly influences African affairs despite having a relatively small population of about 44.9 million, ranking 34th. Algeria's economy mainly relies on hydrocarbons and manufacturing, which account for about 60% of the GDP. Algeria GDP per capita is US $11,430. Hydrocarbons contribute more than 95% to exports and 75% to government revenue. Manufacturing contributed less than one-third of GDP and employed about 16% of the workforce. Number 7 on the list of richest countries in Africa is South Africa. South Africa's economy mainly relies on transport equipment, processed minerals, chemicals, textiles, and food products, which account for about half of its GDP. The industrial sector makes up the most significant part of GDP, accounting for over 35%, and minerals, mainly gold, diamonds, and coal, account for 90% of exports. The country has a lot of resources. However, these resources have not been used efficiently, and the economy remains in flux. Still, the economy is doing well, with an annual GDP growth rate of 3%, one of the highest in Africa. South Africa GDP per capita is US $12,440. However, South Africa's economy faces severe challenges, such as rapid population growth, further poverty, and unemployment. Number 6 on the list of richest countries in Africa is Egypt. Egypt is a country in North Africa bordered by the Mediterranean Sea to the north, Israel and the Gaza Strip to the northeast, the Gulf of Aqaba to the east, Sudan to the south, and Libya to the west. Egypt has an ancient history that dates back thousands of years. Because of this, it is widely considered to be the foundation of human civilization. Egypt mainly relies on agriculture, media production, construction, tourism, and transportation. About 50% of Egyptians are employed in agriculture. However, its agricultural sector only contributes 23% to the GDP. Egypt GDP per capita is US $13,080. Number 5 on the list of richest countries in Africa is Madagascar. Madagascar is an island nation located off the coast of East Africa in the Indian Ocean. Madagascar's economy mainly relies on agriculture, which accounts for about 40% of the country's GDP. It is one of the most biodiverse countries globally, with approximately 5,000 plants, 89 types of primates, 350 bird species, and 60 mammal species found nowhere else. Madagascar GDP per capita is US $13,720. Number 4 on the list of richest countries in Africa is Gabon. Gabon is located on the west coast of Africa in Central Africa, bordered by Equatorial Guinea, Cameroon, the Republic of Congo, and the Gulf of Guinea. Gabon has a lot of resources, including oil, timber, manganese mining, and uranium ore, making it one of Africa's wealthiest countries. However, Gabon is facing a severe economic crisis, resulting in the country's oil production being cut by half. The GDP growth rate in Gabon is meager, and inflation is high. Gabon GDP per capita is US $16,240. Number 3 on the list of richest countries in Africa is Botswana. Botswana is a landlocked country in southern Africa. The economy of Botswana has always been based on animal husbandry and has undergone several changes over the years. The country's diamond and beef exports have greatly helped Botswana develop its economy. Botswana is one of Africa's largest producers of diamonds, giving it the third most significant share in dollar value among African nations after South Africa and Angola. Diamonds account for about 50% of the country's exports. 1 in every 4 households in Botswana has at least one diamond ring, earring, or pendant. Botswana GDP per capita is US $18,110. Number 2 on the list of richest countries in Africa is Mauritius. Mauritius is an island nation off the coast of Africa in the Indian Ocean. They built the economy of Mauritius on sugarcane plantations, but today it has diversified into textiles, tourism, and banking. 80% of its tourists are from other African countries, France, and the United Kingdom. Mauritius also has a free port regime, meaning there are no taxes or tariffs on goods produced in Mauritius destined for export. The exports for Mauritius mainly include clothing, sugar, and guar gum. Mauritius GDP per capita is US $22,030. Number 1 on the list of richest countries in Africa is Seychelles. Seychelles is a small island in the Indian Ocean situated off East Africa. Seychelles has an impressive GDP per capita mainly because of its robust tourism industry, contributing significantly to its GDP. Seychelles GDP per capita is US $26,120. Tourism accounts for about 40% of national GDP and roughly 70% of foreign currency earnings. Historically, fishing formed the backbone of the economy, with tuna being the primary catch. However, in recent years, Seychelles has developed its tourism sector by expanding accommodation and facilities on the island. So, which is your favorite country among the top 10 richest countries in Africa? Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content of this video, click the subscribe button so you can receive more content like this. Post your favorite countries among the top 10 richest countries in Africa in the comments below. I'd love to read them and I'm sure others would too.